Hello everyone, and welcome back to Yoshi's Woolly World on the Nintendo Wii U. I am one lost sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get to the halfway point of World 5 and take down the hang about, my vocal cords aren't working today. Next boss battle of the game. But first things first, before we go to that boss battle, we have to manage these flying carpets. A brand new gimmick, if I recall correctly, and basically, as you can tell, they have little arrows on the side of them. Now these flying carpets, they will go up whenever you jump, and they will go down whenever you ground pound onto them. And they basically work very similar to the Switch platforms. You can just hold down as well, yeah. They work very similar to the Switch platforms that are found in Super Mario 3D Land, where you can basically you can manipulate the platform just by moving left and right. So we're gonna need to get used to using these things in order to play through this particular level. And honestly, it's actually a really fun stage because there's a lot of management with your jumps. You need to learn how to jump properly in certain areas and what have you in order to progress through. And there's a lot of secret areas you can find just by going to either the very top of the screen or the very bottom of the screen. So this is basically a platformer exploration guy's delight. If you want to go slow anyway. If you want to go fast and want to take the Sonic mindset, like I tend to do in a lot of these games, it can be kind of annoying, but you can try and keep things going smoothly and quickly by using ground pounds, and you can try and speed run as best you can if you really feel the need to, but doing so can possibly cause quite a few issues. Especially considering if you stay off a platform for too long, it will eventually start to fall down and disappear into the depths below, so it's just that. But, you know, it's a very neat gimmick, it's a very different gimmick, and I actually quite enjoy it for the most part. It's, it keeps the game varied, I suppose. Plus the music of the Egyptian, the soundtrack gives me Egyptian vibes, which I guess makes kind of sense considering we're on magic carpets, so, you know, it's kind of cool. I can dig it. Can you dig it? No, I want the exclamation mark. Yeah, screw the exclamation mark. It doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, you can get, it's very easy to miss secrets though and whatnot in this one, especially considering you have these blowy things. I don't know what they're called. I'll just call them blowy clouds, where they'll just pop up from the top and bottom of the screen and blow at you, and they're not so much a difficult challenge to overcome, they're just more of a nuisance really, because you have to manipulate them in a certain way in order to get certain areas and whatnot. And plus you can throw yarn balls at them anyway to stun them, which will allow you to progress further and pass through freely. So basically they're just a minor nuisance, there's no big deal to them whatsoever. But we did need to grab a mini dutty carpet in order to get up to the secret area, because the normal carpet we were just riding was way too big to even go near. So we did need to acquire one of these dutty carpets that have been kept aloft from these blowy clouds. And I get really scared when I'm manipulating these carpets, just because whenever you're trying to jump onto a new one with a shy guy on the walking back and forth on, it's very awkward to try and not clip the shy guy, because if you notice, when the shy guy turns from left to right, his little spear thing will actually pop up into the air, and I don't know if that can hurt you if you jump on it from when they're turning, but it's something I always get really touchy about and scared about, because I'm like, no, I don't want to touch a spear. The pointy stick will hurt me bum, you know? Yes, I did just literally say the phrase, the pointy stick will hurt my bum in a Let's Play. Oh god. Oh, I can feel my YouTube celebrity status drifting away. But I digress. Anyway, it's the only kind of issue I have with this stage is it does tend to drag a little bit. It's just due to the nature of this type of level where you have to wait. You're basically at the mercy of the speed of these carpets, and because the carpets aren't going too fast, because if they went too fast you wouldn't be able to control them very well, it's very tedious. You know, the stage could do this. The stage could benefit from having like a super speed button or something, just just to help things progress, you know. Also, you do need to be careful of these chompy things as well. Not because they hurt you, they can hurt you, but that's not why. Because if they land on your magic carpet, what will basically happen is they will drag down the carpets. They will add additional weight. More weight on this thing equals bad. Yoshi go boo-boo. Yoshi go into a pit. And Yoshi will die. So, yeah, try your best to keep away from enemies that are falling from the top of the screen. For the most part, you shouldn't have too much issues even finding the collectibles, really, because even though this is a very open area, open level, because of the fact it's open and very straightforward, like it's a literal hallway, everything is laid out for you. It's very obvious where to go to collect each of these collectibles, you know? So, you know, it's a neat stage. It does drag on a bit too long for what the stage type it is. That's my 2 cents about it. I'm just thankful they did try to vary the gameplay a bit, though, because if this game was nothing but the same levels over and over and over again with no variation, it would really be no. Like this isn't a bad game, but at times I do feel it's a bit average. You know, it's far from the best platformer in the world. I'll get more into that around the end of the LP, though, when I'm summing up my thoughts about the game, but. You know, it's a good game. It's good fun. It's just now that I'm doing the LP months after the game came out. It hasn't got the same effect on me now. You know, I'm not as hyped about this game as I was when it first came out. But it's still a passable experience. By the way, yes, we are fighting Big Montgomery yet again. What a just. You couldn't have had more mini-bosses, Nintendo. I mean, come on. The fact is, the Big Montgomery by here, the way he works in this particular stage, I'm kind of going ahead of myself here, but the way he kind of works in this stage is, he has a completely separate pattern to what you're used to before. So, my question is, why didn't you just get a new... something, just make a new character design or something, or choose a different character from a previous design to use, because honestly I'm getting sick of seeing Big Montgomery. I want to see new. I want to see new and improved mooks, you know? Not the same guy over and over. But I digress. It's only a minor nitpick of mine. It's, you know, it doesn't really affect the game too badly. I just think it would be nicer to have additional enemy types, you know, something new to look at every once in a while for these mini-bosses. But, you know. Although I don't know if... I can't recall if every mini-boss is Big Montgomery. I can't actually remember, but... like I said, it's been so long since I last played the game properly. Although this is a unique little thing that I kind of dig with these ice blocks. You've got ice blocks, but there's little holes in them you can go into. I dig this. I like this a lot. It's a good way to hide collectibles and whatnot. And honestly, the ice graphics in this game, one thing I'm surprised by is they look really, really nice. Like, it looks like you're literally standing on a giant block of ice, as you should. It kind of reminds me when I was playing Star Wars Battlefront the other day with one of my friends, where we were playing a game and he just suddenly blurts out, "It's nice that these rocks look like rocks." I'm just like, well yeah, the rocks. Are you mad or something? But I digress. Oh god, can I survive? No! No! Grr. Oh, I'm alive! Oh god! Oh god! No! No! Jesus Christ. I hate when stuff like that happens. Ugh. That's the ice physics playing into effect by here, because this stage, even though it doesn't really look like it from the normal ground, this stage is basically ice physics the level for the most part. So it can be a little bit tricky to platform around. Which is why I'm jumping like a madman by here, because one of the best ways to manipulate ice physics in this game is actually just to jump in place, because what will happen is the ice physics won't take an effect. It won't make you slide if you're jumping constantly in place. So it's a very wise thing to do in order to just, you know, keep yourself level. Keep yourself on the same level ground and keep control of your body. So yeah, here's my tip on this platformer game. Jump like a madman. That should be a tip in every platformer game, but there we are. When I think about it, could probably be a tip in every platformer game as long as you don't jump into pits and whatnot, which I tend to do in a lot of Mario games. Just like, yeah, Yay! Super Mario Brothers, a new game! Oh, it's a pit, let's jump into it like a pleb. Eesh. I'm not very good at games. I love games. I've been playing them all my life, but I admit I'm not very good at them. But anyway, you want to boop that one of your yarn balls or one of those penguins that are in the area in order to grab the wool staircase. And I do believe we have seen the penguins beforehand in the playthrough, but considering it's been such a long hiatus since I've started out the playthrough again from the last part, basically, to reiterate, the penguins, you cannot eat them, you cannot swallow them, you can only pick them up and spit them back out. Nintendo must be anti-penguin hunting or something, I don't know, but you can't eat those things. You need to gobble them up and spit them back out if you want to utilize those penguins, which I don't mind too much. Because they're very good projectiles. They're very useful to use to chuck at enemies, chuck at mooks. You know, slide down hallways and passages in order to damage a vast amount of enemies. Well, I say a vast amount of enemies. I think they just they basically implode after you throw it at one enemy. But that's beside the point. Let's just continue moving onward, shall we? Although one thing I haven't really talked too much about in this LP, I don't think is the soundtrack. Like I don't know the name of the guy who's behind the soundtrack, or guys behind the soundtrack, because games tend to have multiple people these days. But whoever did the soundtrack, they did a really good job. It does give me those vibes of old Yoshi Island games back in the day, and they're very entertaining, you know. It's a very good soundtrack, basically, for what it is, which is a basic platformer. It's not too fast-paced or anything either, it's just the right tempo for this type of game, because this isn't a platformer game where you generally go fast. You know, it's usually better to play through this one slowly, which is probably why I prefer the likes of Sonic and Mario a bit more than this one, just because I know with those games, the entire emphasis isn't so much exploring a 2D plane, it's more about getting to the end, while you can explore in those ones, so I don't know. Like, I'm not one for 2D collectathons. I enjoy them, but I prefer... If I'm doing a collectathon game, I'm playing something like Banjo-Kazooie, you know, something specialized for collecting stuff and have these vast worlds, but I digress. It's still a good game. It's still good fun. I still love it. And I'll praise it any day of the week. I'll still recommend this game to anyone who likes platformers. And even some people who don't like platformers, if they're fancy getting into gaming for once, you know, if they're not into gaming and they see this and they're like, oh, that's cute, I want to try it. But I digress. This sequence by here drives me mad. I do not like this platforming sequence because, as you see, it's just me jumping like a madman because there's no challenge to it. Like, okay, maybe I did mess up the jump there, but there's no challenge to these things being icicles. It's just a minor annoyance that just gets in the way. I say there's no challenge. There is a bit of a challenge with the penguins, I suppose, so never mind, ignore me. I'm talking out of my arse. Just like every Let's Player on YouTube normally does anyway. Hey! Oh. To any Let's Players that are watching this and get mad, admit it, that's what we all do. You can't deny it. But, I digress. I don't want to use my wall, I want to use one of these things. Boop! No, that's not how you... Yoshi, aim! Oh, there we go. I meant to do that, totally. I was meant to ricochet him off the wall. Hardcore parkour? Maybe? I don't know. But anyway, we are actually finally getting close to the end of this particular castle anyway, so be prepared, folks, as we're about to take care of that mook that I mentioned beforehand. And of course, as always, there's a health power-up just before the boss battle doorway, which you can manipulate if you so choose to give yourself some extra hit points. Or gems if you have full hit points. Well, it's not really gems, it's beads, so more beads, but you know what I mean.
You again? Of course it's you again. Okay, time to chill out, Yoshikins.
Yeah, well, it's time for you to freeze Kamek. whatever. Basically, we need to deal with Montgomery again. And for this boss battle, what we need to do is wait for him to lift up the ice below us, and we simply ground pound it, which will leave his weak point open, allowing us to boop in on his head. Well, not really his head, his arse, really, but I digress. And of course, after each time he goes to attack you, he will send out waves of mooks at the top of the screen, which you will need to dodge. And then from there on out, he'll charge at you, chuck a wall ball at him, which will get him into his lifty ice form again. And every phase, he does lift up the ice an additional time, so be prepared about that. He won't lift the ice up once. He'll lift the ice up twice on the second phase. And on this phase now, he's going to lift the ice up 3 times before we can boop him. It's a really, really pathetic boss fight. It's really easy. Of course, be careful. When he does start the 3rd phase, he will add a ground pound to his arsenal, and he will have these other moles popping from the background doing their Sonic the Hedgehog thing, which admittedly is no danger whatsoever. So there we go. Bing bang bottle. Bing bang bottle. That is Big Montgomery done and dusted. Is that the last time we'll be seeing him? I don't know. It might be. It may not be. We might be seeing Big Montgomery for another round, but I don't know. Maybe. Yoshi, you sly dino. You know, I do love these Me First things, by the way, that pop up in the loading screens. They add a little bit extra to the game, even though it's nothing much, and I rarely use Miiverse functionality. Just seeing something in the loading screen that isn't just a blank loading. I don't know, it makes me... It's neat, you know, it's just a neat little additional feature that they didn't really need. Frostbite Yoshi. Jesus Christ, that Yoshi sounds dangerous. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this part, so thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And when we return next time, we'll be finishing off the rest of World 5, so I'll catch you all then. Don't be sheepish, I'll see you after. Bye!